Do I actually need a business lawyer? It's one of the most common questions I get when I work with small business owners. My name is Andrew Ayers. I'm a lawyer who works with businesses and families to protect their legacies through planning. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk a little bit about whether or not you need a business lawyer. But a hint, if you're asking the question, you probably do need a business lawyer. Now, for years, I've met with small business clients who've set up a business and things are running great, their marketing is going great, their sales are going great, but they've never taken the time to do the legal documents. They haven't set up an operating or shareholder agreement. Sometimes they haven't even filed documents with the state to become a formalized business. And these kind of owners always get to the point where they have to ask themselves that question: do they need a business lawyer? When they come to me, they often think they need a lawyer, but they're not sure what kind. So we're going to talk about two different kinds of lawyers today. The first is a transactional lawyer. A transactional lawyer is usually someone who will work on documents to be filed. For example, they'll set up your business. They'll draft and review documents and contracts. They'll prepare your business for a merger or an acquisition. And if you have intellectual property like copyrights and trademarks and patents, they'll help you register that. Now, these lawyers don't normally go to court. You're not going to see them in front of the Supreme Court arguing some big case, and they're not going to be at your local courthouse. Those lawyers are called litigation lawyers. You hire them when you need to defend your company against a lawsuit. You need to sue somebody. If there's a dissolution and we have to have a lawyer represent the company, or if you're appealing some kind of a decision. One key thing to remember is your business cannot represent itself in court. So unless you're a lawyer and your business has been sued, you need to have a lawyer represent you. I've sat through many court appearances over the years where a business owner shows up, they've been aggrieved, and they're suing on behalf of their business, or they're being sued for something they did, and they can't believe it when the judge stops the proceedings, says, "We're not going any further, your business needs a lawyer." In extreme cases, I've been in court where the business owner refuses time after time to get a lawyer, and the judge has to finally say, "If you don't get a lawyer, I'm going to dismiss your case, or I'm going to default you," and the other side wins. This isn't something that you want to play around with. So you need to remember, if you're in a lawsuit, your business needs to have an attorney. Now, you should know that a lawyer can be both. They can be transactional, they can do litigation. In my practice, I take both sides of that coin. We set up businesses, and we can also represent them in lawsuits. The next question that naturally flows from all of this from my clients is, how can I afford a lawyer? They're expensive. How much is this going to cost me? There's going to be four main ways that you can be billed by your lawyer, and you should consider it and actually discuss it with them to figure out what's best for you. The first way is the time-honored tradition of an hourly billed lawyer. That lawyer is going to keep track of his time or her time, and you get a bill at the end of the month listing out all the things they did, all the time they spent, and the cost for each. The next way you can be billed is with flat fees, which is a way I prefer to work with my business clients when I can. That way, you work out a scope of the work with the lawyer, you agree on a fee, and you pay them a flat fee. If it takes more time or less time, it doesn't matter, you're paying that one fee. The third way you can do it is with a contingency fee, which is if you're suing somebody else, let's say you're suing a competitor for $1 million, and the lawyer agrees to take a percentage of what they recover. So if they win $1 million, or they settle the case for $1 million, and they collect that money, they get 20% of it. So they get $200,000, you get the other $800,000. The fourth way, which is becoming much more common these days, is a hybrid approach, where you take one of those first three. So for example, you pay hourly up to a certain point, and then pay contingency after that. Or you do flat fees for certain parts of litigation and hourly for other parts. There are a myriad of ways you can set this up, but it all comes down to a dialogue between you and your attorney to determine what services you need and how you're going to pay it. Now, normally this is where I would tell you there's two ways to do things. One is to do it yourself, and the second way is to hire a professional. In this case, if you've been sued, you can't do number one. You can't represent your company in court unless you're a lawyer. So work with the professionals. Work with a lawyer who can help you if you've been sued or you need to sue somebody. If you need help on the transactional side, there's a lot of services out there that can help you with setting up your business or registering IP. But remember, it doesn't hurt to have a professional look it over. pay for some time with an attorney to make sure you're doing it right. You want to make sure everything is filed correctly and your business is protected. So if you want to work with a lawyer, whether the transactional or the litigational side of your business, feel free to give me a call. Go to andrewmayers.com. There's a red button on the homepage. Schedule a consultation. You'll be taken to my personal calendar. We'll set up a complimentary legal strategy session to look at what your business needs from a lawyer and whether we'd be a good fit to work together.